Well, hello everyone. Welcome to the Let's Get Loud podcast solo podcast episode today with A. I thought I would update you guys on my trip to New York. Actually, as I'm saying that, I'm just looking at this cute little souvenir that I got of me and my boy. And also kind of a little bit of a weight loss, health, wellness update. What I'm up to, what my thoughts are, and what's next for me. So, trip to New York was amazing. This one was a little bit of a trickier one for me to be like, yes, let's go, because there was obviously a lot of resources assigned to it: time, money, mental energy. And we don't often do things, my family often does things together, like all five of us. It's just the way that we roll. It's kind of like the way we started as a family. I think because we didn't live anywhere near our family members and we had kids and it was just us. And then when we had the girls, it was just us. And so if we wanted to go somewhere, we went together, safety in numbers. And it's just kind of the way that we've, I don't want to say raised our family, but raised our family. So this one felt a little bit more difficult for me, but I also knew it was such a cool opportunity and experience. And what I cannot say enough is how powerful that connection was for Alfie and I to have time just us. When you are from a family of five, it's not often just all about you. And it was like, what do you want to eat? Where do you want to go? Where do you want to sit? How late do you want to sleep in? And I think it was just really nice for me to be able to just focus on Alfie. It was a whirlwind trip. It was only two sleeps, but we really made the most of it. We did a ferry ride and went to Statue of Liberty. We did the Empire State Building. We did shopping. We did Times Square, we did Central Park, we biked around Central Park, and of course we did the game. And wow, what a cool experience. I Now I want to go again. Now I want to find my next place. Now I Kansas City is our team. And if someone asked how this all came about, and really, I think it just happened that Alfie became a football fan during Chief Nation, during the time that the Chiefs were the be all and end all, and they had won the Super Bowl once and about to win it twice. And so I think that's just why they became our team. There was really no other reason. Um, but it's not that I'm saying I don't want to go to Kansas City, but it's not top of my list of places to go. But I must say, it must be so cool to be at like the home team's game. Obviously, we were Kansas City fans in New York, which I don't want to say there was some negative experiences, but unfortunately there kind of was. I also think Alfie is like a super sensitive kid. So we were in the city walking towards the train station and like a Giants fan said like, "Oh, watch out, I'm going to jump you." And he was for sure joking, but Alfie really took that to heart. And then unfortunately there was some fans after the game that were saying really derogatory comments towards us. I will not even repeat it on the podcast. I don't think Alfie quite heard or understood what they said. But they said it in almost like an aggressive way. And again, Alfie is really not. He's a very sensitive, sheltered child. And it got to him. And I'm like disappointed. I'm disappointed in those people. Like, can't you see that this is a kid and his mom? Like, not that it's okay to direct your negativity to like other grown men, but like that seems a little more appropriate than you using us to take it out on us. Anyways, so that was interesting. So all this to say, what an incredible trip. What an incredible opportunity. Loved the time with my boy. Loved New York City. Loved the whole experience of an NFL game. Honestly, the best part is warm up. And because we had splurged on some really great seats during warm up, we were able to be literally right there. Oh my gosh, my girls are home. Okay. The girls, it's a PD day, and Phoebe has a friend over, and Piper has two friends over. And Phoebe and her friend just said they were going to make ramen. And I was like, only come talk to me if there's an emergency. But I just did hear her screaming, but it seems like she's not coming here. And they're like videoing it, creating content. Anyways, it's a whole thing. Um, okay, so Yes, my favorite part was the warm up because like they're not in gear, so you can really see them. And like they were right there. Like I got to see them with my eyes. Super cool that Brittany Mahomes was there and she was standing basically right in front of us. So I saw like the kiss that he gave her before the game started. And the game, it was a good game. It wasn't like a great game though. Like a lot of their points weren't touchdowns. They were like kick points, which just aren't as exciting. So all this to say, I'm already thinking about where am I going to go next. Although I don't think I'm going to get away with a solo trip again. I said to Alfie, I said, I think the next NFL game we go to, your dad's going to have to take, yeah, or we go all as a family of five. Anyways, who knows but what an amazing opportunity. But I am so happy to be home. We got home Monday night around midnight, and there is, as much as it's amazing to be on a trip, there is no place like home. And I'll tell you one thing that home gives me is routine. And I love routine. I love structure. I love that the kids are in school and I get to spend some time thinking about me, honestly. So, in the Your Way Weight Loss world, we're doing a fall focus program right now. And what we just did is we started the program with awareness. Okay. So we did the 7 day lifestyle challenge. What this is 7 days for you to increase awareness around where energy is coming from. And this is an extremely powerful tool for people. And I was like, I don't want to say I didn't need to do it, but the 7 day lifestyle challenge is for people who really don't understand why they're not creating a calorie deficit and or people that are just really not sure where is the best place to put their focus and energy when it comes to changing habits that will then result in less calories in, which will give them weight loss. So anyone that's just not really sure on like where they need to go. So I have a super high level of calorie awareness that was very obvious to me. And so I didn't need to do that. Really, the next step for me and the next step for everyone this week, what we're all doing together is we're going to focus on habits. So I want to give you a little pep talk about habits before I continue talking about myself. Before it's the Alicia show continues. I posted a picture of myself at the gym and someone said, "Oh my gosh, you're so motivated." And I just don't connect with that word. And I just wanted to make it so abundantly clear that what gets me to the gym most days is not motivation and it's not discipline. It's actually habit. And how you get to something being a habit is it starts as an event. So an event is the very first time I showed up at the gym, a couple like, over almost a year ago now. It was an event. Like I was waiting for my certificate, waiting for the parade. It took a lot of energy to get me there, mental energy and a lot of resources. And so you're waiting, it's an event. And then once it's not an event anymore, once it's not as a big deal, it becomes a habit, which is great. Habits are great. But then there's another layer, okay? Teeth brushing. Brushing your teeth isn't a habit, it's your standards. So, the reason why you brush your teeth isn't because you've made it a habit, it's because it is your standards. Now, some of us brush our teeth once a day, some of us brush it 2 times a day, some of us brush it 10 times a day. And how many ever times a day you brush your teeth, that's because that's your standard. And my standard of teeth brushing is not better or good or right, it's just mine. And so I really want people to start to think about their behaviors as this is an event and now it's a habit, now it's a standard. And what I am working with our members right now is moving things from events to habits to standards. And here's the thing that is super important for you guys to understand. You will never move something into the standard category unless it is aligned with your deeper why. So let me explain. Your surface level why might be weight loss. And you know what? I support you. I leave space in this world for anyone that wants to chooses to live their life in whatever size body you want to choose to live your life in, okay? Who am I to say that you shouldn't want to live your life in a smaller body or want to live your life in a bigger body? Not my judgment, okay? So oh my God, I completely lost my train of thought, you guys. Wow. My brain. Okay, wait, we're going to go back. I got it. So for me, my deeper why and purpose is energy, day-to-day energy, but also aging independently, being physically able. Oh man, when you travel, is that ever a reminder of how important it is to have your legs? Which sounds dramatic, but it's not. I see a lot of people in the airport, in the plane, walking the streets where that's difficult for them because of their physical how in shapeness. Okay. And I want to age independently. So I want to be as physically able for as long as possible. I want to age well. Okay. That is a core value of mine. That is authentic to me. That aligns with who I want to be. Okay. That's why I am able to move the gym from habit to standard. And that's the missing piece for so many of you. You are just doing you are trying to, you're taking an event and moving it to a habit. Some of you are successful with it. You're moving into a habit, okay? And it's something that you think you should do, or it's something you're doing for weight loss alone, and it never moves to a standard. And it never moves to a standard because deep down, you actually don't care about that thing more than surface level. And so that's the secret. That's the key. And that's what we're working with within our membership right now with our fall focus is how to create a habit, but make sure you're working on the right habits. Now, there's no two people that have the right habits. You need to figure out what your right habits are. And those are the ones that are authentically aligned with what you inspires you. Someone having a lot of energy inspires me. People that eat super nutrient dense food inspires me. It is bigger than weight loss. It is bigger than aesthetic. It is who I want to be. Okay. And that's what I want you guys to chase. I want you guys to chase those things that genuinely can be moved to standards. And talking about vacation, have you ever gone on vacation before vacation? Things were a habit. It was going pretty well. You get back and then it's like it disappears. Why? Wasn't a standard. Okay. Now, when you are working to create a habit and you're struggling, there's 3 reasons why. Number 1, the thing you're trying to change is not authentic or aligned with who you actually want to be, your actual why, like we already talked about. Number 2, you're trying to change too much too soon. So even if you say to me, no, Alicia, eating vegan is who I want to be. Eating only, eating minimally processed is who I want to be. But maybe you're on the other end of the spectrum. And right now you're consuming everything comes from a box. If you try and go straight to everything out of a box, you're going to fail. And not necessarily because it's not authentic to you or it doesn't align, because you're trying to change too much too soon. And then the third reason why you are struggling to move your events into habits, into standards, is you are not staying connected to it. Life is busy. Busy. Okay. You need to be connected to that every single day. And so if you came to me and you're like, Alicia, I'm really struggling to make movement a habit. I'm really struggling to make meal prepping a habit. I'm really struggling to make not eating at night a habit. I'm going to ask you, why are you trying to make that change? That's my first question. And if you answer, well, I should, or because I have to, or because I want to lose weight, not good enough. That's the first problem. And then the next question I'm going to ask you is I'm going to say, is that a reason? Where are you right now? Where are you trying to go to? And is that a reasonable step? Had a great conversation with a member the other day who said, my problem is I eat like an asshole at night. And I said, okay, awesome. Let's work on that. And she said, I want to work on that. It's not who I want to be. Okay, great. So when I say, okay, what's the next step? I don't eat at night. I'm like, nope, that's not going to work. Like, you can't just declare it and it's going to change. I said, does that feel realistic? And she's like, no, I think I'll feel deprived. So thank you for your honesty. And so what's reasonable? Can we eat at night but have a smaller portion? Like, that feels like a much more manageable, tangible step. Okay. And then the next thing I'm going to ask you, if you're still struggling, is how do you remind yourself of this focus every single day? And if you can't tell me, that's a problem. Okay. How I personally stay connected is my journal. I've had this journal all year, 2025. I've written in this journal. We have our habit tracker. I printed enough pages for the entire year to finish the year out because I'm going to be working on changing some things that are currently an event and making them a habit. And I'm also going to be working at changing some things from habit to standard. Now, let's talk about this. I often see people filling in their habit tracker and they are writing things on there that are already a standard. What a waste of time. It's like when you're making a to do list and you write something on your list that you've already done and then you cross it out. I'm so sorry, but that's ridiculous. Okay. That is you just giving yourself that hit or that high of having done the thing. You're not working towards anything. It was already a standard. So if you already move your body, you already drink your water, you already, don't write that on your sheet. I would rather you guys have 2 or 3 things on your sheet focused for your habits, focused to take from an event to a habit or a habit to a standard. I'd rather you have 2 to 3 things, but make them impactful. Okay? Don't write things on there that you already have achieved. And when you do write something on that sheet, I want you to do the check-in with yourself and say, okay, is this authentic? Or am I doing this because I think I should? Is this a reasonable small step towards the eventual end goal? How will I stay connected to this every single day? These are the questions you need to ask yourself. Okay. And when it comes to your habits, if weight loss is your goal, you need to have things on your sheet that result in less energy in or more energy out. See it all the time. Drink more water, eat more vegetables, go to bed at 10. Listen, those are all incredible things. Those are incredible things for your overall wellness. And the byproduct of doing those things could result in you having less energy in. But if you truly want weight loss, if that is your focus right now, the things on your sheet should be directly linked to less energy in. And be specific. Be specific. Okay. You want to know what mine are? They're so specific. Measure creamer in my matcha. Such a little thing, but I know when I don't measure, I consume more energy. And right now, that's more of a habit, not a standard. I want to move it to a standard. Okay. Thing number 2. So, my dessert after my second meal every single day is a date with chocolate chips in it. Okay. Right now, I have 2. Sometimes it goes into 3. Sometimes it involves a little shot of chocolate chips. So, I'm saying 1 date. Have 1 date. Do you also see here that there's no numbers on my page? There's no total number of calories. I don't need to know the total number of calories. I just spent a week creating awareness around my habits and how I showed up, basically creating a framework for myself and saying, okay, if you consume 4 meals a day and you do this, this, and this, you're going to be successful. I know it. Give yourself the opportunity to try with the changes. Try being consistent and see if that gives you the results you're looking for. You don't have to count. You don't have to know how many calories in order to have less energy in. So I know if I measure my creamer every single day, I will have less energy in 100%. I know if every day I only consume 1 date with my meal, I will consume less energy. Okay. Also, as far as the dates go, okay, I said to myself, okay, if that's a focus of yours, I want you to also ask yourself this, whatever you have written on your sheet, how can I make that easier? How can I make it so the chances of that are higher? Tell you what, pre-make them. Pre-make them. So so I don't get out the tub of peanut butter, the tub of dates, the tub of chocolate chips. I've pre-made it all. And even better, portioned into single spots. That's how I can increase the chance that I follow through with that. So that's an important question to ask yourself as well. How can I switch around my environment to support this? Okay. So there's other things on my sheet, not important. I feel like you guys got the message. You got the message. Listen, you don't need to count calories. You don't need to do crazy workouts. You want to lose weight this fall. You want to focus on changing your habits. Going from an event to a habit and a habit to a standard is the secret. That is changing your life. And the only way to get from an event to a standard is if it is authentic and aligned with who you want to be and it has something to do with your actual why above and beyond weight loss. And you have to accept small steps. You have to accept small steps. And you need to remind yourself of it every single day. And you need to set up your environment for success. It's not enough for me to just say, I'm just going to eat only one date and expect for me to change my behavior without changing anything in my environment. Okay? Words mean nothing. Actions mean everything. So that's what's up with me. I am locked into my fall goals. I am pumped for the last 3 months. To me, September's over. I have October, November, December. I set a goal at the beginning of 2025 to get stronger, and I'm right there. I'm right there. And I have an opportunity to do even more than what I had originally set out in 2025. And I want to go into 2026 feeling in control, feeling proud, feeling strong with momentum. And so if this is appeal to you, if you're like, oh, this is what I need, this is where I want to put my focus, this feels like something I could focus on, then you need to join our Fall Focus program. I'm going to put the link in the show notes. It's a 4-month membership for $189, and you get access to all of our coaching sessions. There's 2 coaching sessions a week that are specific to this program, and there's templates, and there's all the things that you need to be successful, aka work towards changing your habits this fall. Okay, everyone. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, you guys know that my DMs are always open. Okay? Bye. Have a great weekend, everyone.